One person. Do not tell me one person can't make a difference. And don't tell me one vote can't make a difference. Long before Trump became president, he started making noise a long time ago. He used his power, he used his influence. When you go back and look at sitcoms, he's all over. We talk about him a lot. They like, oh, you think you got Donald Trump's money, this and that. He involved himself in the culture. He made sure he did The Apprentice. He got into the beauty pageant. He used all of his influence, and he was just strategic as he did things. I told you the other day that the word is strategy, right? I'm telling you, if you do not learn to use strategy, if you don't learn to watch patterns, if you do not learn, if you don't study, it's the reason why the Bible tells us to study the adversary. Because it doesn't matter if you like a person or not. If you watch their moves, you understand how they think and you understand how to defeat the enemy. That's why the Bible says study the adversary. Because 9 times out of 10, the adversary, actually 10 times out of 10, because the Bible cannot lie. God cannot lie. The Bible, it was inspired by God. Quit listening to all this other stuff. Nothing in the Bible tells us to be submissive, to be beaten, to be any of that. None of that. That all came because we manipulated, blah, blah, blah. That's another video. This video is about one person making a difference, okay? One person. So when he came up with the Tax and Jobs Act, if you go back and look at it, and I've been talking about it, he realized, he said, we give out way too many returns. That's literally what he said. He's like, IRS issues way too many returns. A lot of those returns are to minorities. The large returns are to minorities who are underpaid all year. And that one time at tax time, they get a good collective amount. And for some of them, that's the difference in being able to buy a car, put down on a car, buy a washer, dryer, improve something, whatever they're able to use it for. Now, the hope would be that you would use it to empower and sustain yourself and do something that's income producing and change your entire year. That didn't always happen. However, in studying that, he realized a way to change it. And that's where the W-4 form is different. That's why when you have people running around here telling you how you can alter your W-4, you really can't now unless you're not being quite honest. Now, there's ways around that. That's another video. My point is, study the adversary. One person weaved his way through all different kind of culture. He found out the points. He found out the things that people didn't want to say. And so when people are saying, America is so divided, America's always been divided. There have always been people, the same people that are coming out now that are saying how they really feel, all the Karens who are coming at black people, those people always felt that way. It's just that we have created a climate where it was not okay for them to be openly racist. It had to be hidden. Thus, there was things going on in small towns. The police shootings that you guys now see all over social media, those things have always happened. We have always been pulled over. We have always been arrested more and charged and harassed and beaten and mistreated. That never stopped. It went from slavery to segregation to Jim Crow. It never stopped. The only difference is that now we have video. The first video, Rodney King, and that was with a video cam. And then we came up with cell phones. And one cell phones, that is right now a black person's best weapon. Because until you guys actually saw the killing of George Floyd in real time, There were many of my white friends that thought, okay, and even some black ones that thought, okay, we got to be doing something wrong. We need to do better. We need to do this. Because I'm going to tell you something. Contrary to popular belief, black people do not like to go around throwing a race card. In fact, we are conflicted sometimes about it. But I'm going back to one person. That's another video. One person. So that one person did all of that study and did all of the things to fight stuff that he just didn't like. And he doesn't like black people. He doesn't have a reason to. He took out a whole ad on the Central Park 5 innocent guys, minority guys, mainly black. And based on that, they were tried and convicted with faulty evidence at best. But it didn't matter. America watched. Even some black people weighed in and thought, oh my gosh, this is bad, this is this, and became embarrassed. A lot of it, like I said, until you saw in real time George Floyd dying and that young lady was so brave to record it, a lot of you still felt like, oh my gosh, we're doing something wrong. We've done it. And it has never been all of us. There are some people that do things wrong, and those people do things wrong regardless of color. But it has not been that black people are just this ruthless kind of people and we're just rude and crazy. It has never been that. But that has always been the narrative. One person. And once he dismantled and unmantled all of that, now you have people that are comfortable showing you how they've always felt about you. Now, some of you are having a hard time believing it because you're like, not all white people are racist and not this. Honey, you better start looking at the writing on the wall. And no, they're not all racist. But there are a lot of them that feel that way. And a lot of them may not be racist, but they biases weigh in. And they, because they are biased and because they have influence, they are able to be to operate in racism in a specific area. And so the detriment and the destruction and the opportunity is there. Do not tell me one person cannot make a difference. Because this one idiot that just started spewing hate and saying whatever he wanted to sparked and encouraged a complete nation. And now they are rising up. Now I'm going to ask you, I've been on here talking about voice. I've talked about politics, understanding the assignment. You're one person. What are you going to do? One of the first things I need you to do is understand that every one of those people in the House of Representatives, their jobs come up for next year. So all over the 50 states of United States of America, you have an opportunity locally to fire the people who are operating in racism. You cannot afford to forget. You cannot afford to say it doesn't matter. And you cannot turn the other way. You've already done that, and now we're dealing with Trump. I said what I said. One person. Now let's fire a lot of them with your one vote. Because you are one person, and you are just as effective, if not more, than that nitwit.